بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على المرسلين وعلى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. We begin by praising and thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, testifying there is no deity worthy of worship except for He subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam is His final messenger and prophet sent to give mankind the glad tidings and to warn us of a painful punishment if we do not follow the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His beloved messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. With that said, good afternoon everybody, happy Sunday. I hope everybody had a good weekend inshallah, enjoying this nice cold weather. So without any further ado, inshallah we're going to get right into it today. Today's name probably won't take too long. It's pretty short, sweet, and gets right to the point. But inshallah, we will try to extract from it what we can. And with that said, Bismillah. So we're going to be talking today about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name today, Al-Haq, the truth. So Al-Haq, very simple translation, the truth. Now, what does that mean? What does it mean that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He names Himself Al-Haq? He is the truth. SubhanAllah, what a very powerful name if you guys really think about it. Like as if there is nothing else true except for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the ultimate truth, and anything that He says, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says He is the truth, that means anything that He speaks must be true. Anything that He sends to us must be true. Anything that He tells us about must be true. Any promises that He makes must be true. Any warnings that He gives must be true. Any descriptions of any places where a human being might end up in, aka heaven or hell, they must be true. So establishing that He is the truth, subhanahu wa ta'ala, is a very powerful name. And it's a name that, basically Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is setting the tone that if my name is the truth, like, guys, like the truth, the ultimate truth, it's like a boundary where that, okay, I cannot pass this specific point. I cannot have even a shadow of a doubt in my head about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, or about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or about anything that comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So after A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, Al-Haqqu min Rabbika فلا تكونن من الممترين. So الحق من ربك فلا تكونن من الممترين. The truth is from your Lord, so never be amongst the doubters. Exactly what we just talked about, subhanAllah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the truth, this is the truth coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This, whatever Allah just revealed to you, Muhammad, whatever Allah has been revealing to you, anything that Allah reveals to us, O slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all of us, this is the truth. Do not even doubt it. Do not even question it. Do not even, contemplate it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not tell you to do that blindly. That He gives you tons of evidences, tons of proofs, the world around us, the universe, the creation of man, everything right around us testifies that subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the truth. And He is there, and everything that He says is true. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exists, guys, like I just said, it verifies, it proves to us, okay, we've established that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exists. We've established that whatever He is telling us, i.e. the Quran, is true. So that means everything else is true. Allah, when He warns us about a painful punishment if we do not listen and we do not obey, that is true also. And the same way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us about this beautiful paradise that He has prepared for the righteous believers, that is true also. He subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّ اللَّهُ هُوَ الْحَقِّ وَأَنَّ مَا يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِهِ هُوَ الْبَاطِلُ وَأَنَّ اللَّهُ هُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْكَبِيرُ. That is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the truth. And that which they call upon other than Him is falsehood. Any other deities, any other, worshipping an idol, worshipping a man, not believing in God, a'udhu billah, any of these things, right? All of them, a'udhu billah. All of this is falsehood. And He says, and because Allah is the most high, He is the most grand. Now, when we are truthful in our life, how does this apply back to our life? Why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being the truth, how can we as human beings, how can we as Muslims apply this to our life? So Dr. Nabusti, he says, when you are with the truth, so when you are with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're going to be the smartest person. you're going to be the most successful person. You're going to be the most advanced person. And he said, because ilm, guys, and this is actually something that really opened up my eyes. He said, he posed a question to the audience. He said, what is ilm? What is knowledge? And, I guess the people were thinking about it. And he said, knowledge is our perceived notion of what is true. So knowledge, ilm, is what the human being perceives to be true. So for example, like we were talking about gravity, right? If they scientifically prove gravity, you hold something that keeps falling onto the ground over, it's repeatable, it's testable, all of these things that qualify as, to make it scientific, we come to the conclusion, okay, this is a truth. So fire, when I turn on the stove and I put my hand over, it's going to burn my hand. If I do that now, if I do that in 10 minutes, if I do that in an hour, if I do that in the winter, if I do it in the summer, if I do it upside down, if I do it wherever I do it, if I put my hand in fire, my hand will burn. So that means fire is something that will cause burning when I put my hand on it. That's the truth. So the truth ultimately is what we perceive to be true. So he gave a very easy example to understand. Knowledge means that when you understand, you have a nice, beautiful boat, right? And you want to take inshallah, your family after coronavirus is over to the lake, and you rent a boat and you want to take a nice drive on the lake with the boat. You understanding that this boat has an engine, and for this engine to function properly, it needs oil. That means you have ilm, you have knowledge, right? So when you put the oil in, you enjoy your trip, you and your family have a great day on the lake, everything is alhamdulillah beautiful. Now, when you don't have ilm, when you don't have knowledge, you get into that boat, you bring your family, but you don't put any oil. The engine light tells you that it needs oil. The engine indicates that it needs oil, and you ignore it. Yeah, you're like, it doesn't need any oil. Who cares, right? It's going to work fine. And then in the middle of the trip, your engine blows up. So you end up not going anywhere. You end up ruining the trip, and you end up not having any benefit out of the trip. So because this person, and this is subhanAllah something amazing, he's saying this person did not have ilm. Like this person, the first person he had ilm, that was truth, that was logical, and it was real truth, real ilm, real knowledge, right? So he was able to enjoy his day. The second person, it's not like he was an idiot. He had ideas in his brain, but in his head he reached a conclusion that oil is not important, right? So he had false information. It's not that he didn't have information. He knows, he read the sign, the information came to him, he rejected that warning, he rejected that sign. So as a result, his boat blew up in the middle of the water, and him and his family now are stranded, or they even can drown. So this is the same way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he tells us the truth. When we accept Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we accept his message, your life becomes a meaningful life. Your life becomes a good life. All of these people that are not Muslims, they're not idiots, right? We have some of the most successful people, they're not Muslim. So it's not that they don't have knowledge, and it's not that they are stupid, but it's just that they don't have the right knowledge. So at the end of the day, if you do not have the right knowledge, subhanAllah, what is it going to mean? It's not going to mean anything. And this is what we've been talking about, guys. It's not going to mean anything if we don't have the right knowledge when we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, listen to this, what the shaitan says on the Day of Judgment. In the Quran, after أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقال الشيطان لما قضي الأمر إن الله وعدكم وعد الحق ووعدتكم فأخلفتكم. So guys, the shaitan, he says, when the matter has been concluded, basically when everything is over, when the people who are in the hellfire, they are in the hellfire, when the people are in Jannah, they are in Jannah, shaitan is going to make one final calling, and he's going to say, indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he promised you the promise of truth. وَقَالَ الشَّيْطَانُ لَمَّا قُضِيَ الْأَمْرُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ وَعَدَكُمْ وَعْدَ الْحَقِّ. So guys, can you imagine Allah's mercy? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he can see in the future, right? Imagine if Allah could tell you everything that's going to happen tomorrow. Wouldn't you be so happy? Wouldn't you be so grateful? Ya Allah, thank you for letting, so I shouldn't take that road. I'm going to get into a big accident. Okay, so I should go 2 minutes later and I'm going to avoid, oh wow, alhamdulillah. You'd be so grateful. You'd be so happy, right? Allah is literally telling you this is a passage. This is this is what's going to happen in the future. The shaitan will literally make this announcement. Oh people, indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he promised you the promise of truth, right? And I also promised you. The shaitan, he also promises us, go do this. If you go rob this bank, you're gonna have $100 million, and you're gonna enjoy it, and you're gonna buy the nicest house, and nobody's gonna catch you, nobody's gonna know, you're smarter than anybody, you did, right? and then you get caught, you get busted, you're in jail, shaitan is nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be found. Or you do any other sin, and then once you do it, you feel this tremendous guilt, shaitan is nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be found, right? And then he says what? وما كان لي عليكم من سلطان إلا أن دعوتكم فاستجبتم لي فلا تلوموني ولوموا أنفسكم. So then he says, I also promised you, but I betrayed you. Guys, wallahi, it's sad that we fall into this trap, and I'm talking about myself first and foremost, right? When Allah is literally telling us, the shaitan is saying, Allah called you to the truth, Allah wanted to save you, and I also called you to something, but it turned out to be falsehood, and I betrayed you, right? He's testifying, I betrayed you. And then what does he say? But don't even blame me. No, blame is not on me today. So the shaitan admits that he called us to falsehood. He called us to dalal, right? To misguidance, to mischievous acts, to things that displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But then, subhanAllah, he has the arrogance, right? And he has the audacity. Imagine you're in hellfire, and in your head, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I listened to this idiot. I can't believe I listened to this shaitan. I can't believe I listened to that human being. I can't believe I did this. You're trying to find someone to blame, right? Naturally, as humans, whenever something goes wrong, we want to blame it on someone else. We don't want to take blame for it ourselves. So then he knows us. He knows us better than you know yourself, right? He says, but by the way, don't blame me. No. Blame yourself. I did not force you to do anything. I did not. He said, look, I cannot be called to your aid. I can't save you today. Don't call me. Don't blame me. Don't even think about it. Nor can you be called to my aid. And you can't save me either. Shaitan knows he's smoked. He's about to be done, right? He says, and do not even, and nor can you be called to my aid. Indeed, I deny your association with me. Do you guys know what the biggest slap in the face is, right? When you have this friend, think about it. And it seemed like he was your friend, and then all of a sudden this person like kind of backstabs you or does something to you that you're not happy with, right? And then you guys end up going to court, and then you had this such long, beautiful, happy friendship, and then all of a sudden this guy throws you under the bus. I never associated with that person. I wasn't really that close with him. Don't associate myself with you. Wallahi subhanAllah, I see this all in courtrooms or on TV, where like people that are friends or business, right? When things are good, everything is great, right? So right now on TV, there's this guy. He made this company WeWork. People can go rent space to work. And apparently this company was supposed to give him $3 billion, right? After he reached a specific valuation. Now, obviously money's involved. The company wasn't doing as well as it was doing. They kicked the own guy who invented the idea out of his own company. So these private equity firms, they kicked him out of his own company, and now this guy is suing him. He's like, you kicked me out of my own company and you owe me $3 billion. So he was saying in the documents, what makes me so upset is that this investor that I took the money from, me and him had such a great relationship. Me and him, we were such good friends. Everything was amazing, right? And then at the beginning of 2018, everything started to go south, and now we're like staunch enemies, right? There's no two bigger, greater enemies than us. This is literally what the shaitan is doing on the Day of Judgment. He says, don't call me, don't blame me, don't ask me, I can't help you, you can't help me. I deny any association with you. Do not even associate myself with you, right? And then he says, what? وَلَا تَلُومُونِي وَلُومُوا أَنفُسِكُمْ مَا أَنَا بِمُصْرِفِكُمْ وَمَا أَنْتُمْ بِمُصْرِفِي. You cannot save me, I cannot save you. إِنِّي كَفَرْتُ بِمَا أَشْرَكْتُمُونِي مِنْ. I remove any association from you. I don't want to have anything to do with you. The same shaitan that made you go do that sin, the same shaitan that tricked us, the same shaitan that told us, go do this, go participate in riba, go steal, go cheat, go, have this boyfriend, go have this girlfriend. The same shaitan. He's now saying, I have nothing to do with you. I don't even know you, right? Min qabl. Inna al-zalimina lahum adhabun alim. Right? And he said, indeed, the wrongdoers, they will have a painful punishment. So can you guys imagine that? What you're going to be thinking? What did this believer at that moment? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may make us from the believers, Ya Rabbi, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us not be from these people who are hearing this and it's like not only now are you in Jahannam, you feel like the ultimate betrayal, right? You feel like, oh my God, I can't believe I blew it. Okay, but I'm only in here for like a couple of days, right? We're only in here in hell for a couple of years, right? Eternity, 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 guys, for these people. May Allah have mercy on us and protect us from this. So what does that mean? What does this statement mean? Is that having knowledge is not enough, because knowledge doesn't mean anything if it's not true knowledge, right? You can have any type of knowledge that you want. Hitler thought he has good knowledge. He doesn't want any Jewish people, right? His knowledge is faulty. Fir'aun thought that any little boy that's born, that's a male, is going to be a threat to him. So he decided to kill every little boy. That was the knowledge in his head. In his head, he came to a conclusion: if I let these little boys grow, then they're going to grow up and they're going to kill me. They're going to take me out of power. So I need to enforce my knowledge and I need to kill them so I can protect myself. He thought he was smart by doing that, right? But he's an idiot because his knowledge was wrong and it was faulty. So having knowledge is not enough. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that knowledge has to be truth, right? And that's why he named himself Al-Haq. It's so important that we follow true knowledge. It's so important that we understand the truth, that this is your salvation, right? When they say the truth shall set you free, it literally, the truth shall set you free. So don't just take something just because it is. We have to investigate. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually tells us, go and understand and question and come to this conclusion. Anyone who comes to Allah with a sound heart, إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. That's all Allah is looking for. If you come to Allah with a sound heart, with a humble heart, you have an open mind, Allah will show you the truth, right? But if you are arrogant, if you do not want to accept His message, if you do not want to submit to Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will push you away. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, guys, remember, our relationship to Allah is a relationship of love. Allah is not making you believe in Him forcefully. If you want to believe, believe. If you don't want to believe, inshallah, ma'anna, believe. Don't believe. Allah does not care. He doesn't need any of us, right? It's only for our benefit to believe. It's only for your benefit, only to raise you, only for Allah to give you more khair, only for Allah to give you more good. So this is part of being humble before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, we just talked about it. Iman is based on haqq. Our truth, our religion is not based on whims. It's not based on wahm, which is whims and desires. Dr. Nabosi says, he says it's not based on shak, it's not based on doubts. You shouldn't have any doubt in your religion, and it's not based on jahl, ignorance. Now, there is no saying, he was saying, what? So it's not based on what? It's not based on shak, and it's not based on jahl. And he said this is really important because some people say, well, you know what, we're just going to believe just to be safe. You know, I'm just going to be a Muslim, I'm going to do my best, whatever. You know, just in case if all of this is true, then alhamdulillah, I'm good. And if it's not true, you know, well, I didn't really lose anything. He said this is not faith. He said, this is not iman. There's no such thing as, oh, if this is true, alhamdulillah, I covered my bases. If this is not true, you know, I'm good. You know, if I die and it ends up that there's nothing, well, he's like, this is not faith. This is not iman. There's no such thing as if I die and nothing. If you die, you will meet Munkar and Nakir in the grave. If I die, the angels of death will come to me and they will tell me exactly what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that they will tell me. If I die, I know I will be resurrected, I will stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there will be hell and there will be Jannah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will choose one for me based on my actions and my deeds and His mercy and His forgiveness, first and foremost. Right? There is no if, maybe, I hope so, well, I'm playing it safe. Alif Lam Mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. Alif Lam Mim, in this book there is no doubt. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala removes any doubt from the very beginning. So if you have these doubts, stop having doubts. Anything, Allah's telling you anything that's about to come into this book, there's no doubt in it. There's no shak in it. There's no desires. There's no whims. There's no ignorance. It is no doubt this is what's going to happen. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He also says in Surah Al-Kahf, قُلْ هَلْ أُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِالْأَخْسَرِينَ أَعْمَالًا. O Muhammad, tell them, should we inform you of the greatest losers? Let me tell you about who are going to be the biggest losers, and Muhammad. The Prophet, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the Prophet الَّذِينَ ضَلَّ سَعْيُهُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَهُمْ يَحْسَبُونَ أَنَّهُمْ يُحْسِنُونَ صُنْعًا. The biggest losers, Muhammad, it's those who whose efforts are lost in this worldly life while they think they are doing good work. So they're living a life, they think, I am going to paradise, I am smooth sailing right into Jannah, I have no worries, right? There is no stress, no worries. Once I die, YOLO, I'm gonna party, I'm gonna live my best life, right? You see it all the time. Somebody dies on overdose, on drugs, on this, on that. They're like, oh, he's in paradise. He lived the worst possible. He's the biggest criminal ever. You see, like, someone who did all the atrocities in the world, and then you see his family saying, oh, he's in paradise now. Paradise fame best. Well, what paradise is he in? SubhanAllah. And we don't judge, we don't know, Allah Alam. But based on this outwardly person appearance, if you see somebody who's participating in all of these things, what paradise is he? And he doesn't believe in God. He says God doesn't even exist. Paradise a best. So who's going to take this guy into paradise? If he doesn't even believe in God, how's he going to paradise? SubhanAllah. So, right? So he says, those are the ones who thought the biggest loser, Muhammad. Let me tell you who the biggest loser is. It's the one who thinks he's just going to Jannah kida for free. He's not going to do anything. He's not going to pray. He's not going to fast. He's not going to believe in Allah. He's not going to obey Allah. He's not going to submit to Allah. And all of a sudden, kida haymut, and boom, he's going to find himself in paradise, right? So الذين ضل سعيهم في الحياة الدنيا وهم يحسبون أنهم يحسنون صنعا. They think they're doing good. أولئك الذين كفروا بآيات ربهم ولقائه فحبطت أعمالهم فلا I'm sorry thank God disconnected. أولئك الذين كفروا بآيات ربهم ولقائه فحبطت أعمالهم فلا نقيم لهم يوم القيامة وزنا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, those are the ones who disbelieved in the verses of their Lord. And because of disbelieving in the verse of their Lord and his meeting, they disbelieved in the meeting of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so their deeds have become worthless. And we will not assign to them on the day of resurrection any importance. So guys, meaning what? Allah is not denying that these people did not do good in this earth. This is something very, very, very important to understand. All of these people who do not believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is saying they did good deeds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most fair, He is the most judge. He is saying, yes, look what He says. So their deeds have become worthless. It's not that they don't have any deeds. Allah's not saying they have no good deeds. They did a lot of good deeds, but their deeds are worthless. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says their deeds mean nothing, right? Because they didn't give them to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the way Allah wanted them to be presented to Him. So I'm going to give you guys a very, very simple example of this. So because sometimes people don't understand, how come good people are going to go to hellfire? It doesn't make any sense. Guys, right now you get your dream job. And I heard this before, and it's the best explanation of it, really, subhanAllah. You get your dream job in a company, okay? And you've been dying to get this job. Alhamdulillah, you landed the job. The CEO, he gives you a very important task. He says, I want you to prove yourself to me. Okay, I want you to prove yourself to me. I instilled you with this confidence. I hired you based off of confidence. Allah gave us Islam based off of confidence. He trusts us with this message, right? So the CEO is saying, I'm going to give you a task. I trust you with it. What I want you to do is I want you to make for me 100 iPhones. Your job today is you're going to make 100 iPhones. You're going to sit in front of the little printer, or you're going to sit in front of the little machine that makes them, and you're going to, inshallah, when I come next week, I need 100 iPhones packaged, ready to ship. You are so happy. You're so excited. Yes, I got my first task, but you know what? I'm not going to do 100 iPhones. I want to really make my CEO so happy. I'm going to make him 10,000 Android phones. I'm going to make 10,000. He asked for 100 iPhones. I'm not going to do 100 iPhones. I'm going to make 10,000 Android phones. Right? And you bust your butt, you're doing Android phones right and left, right? Next week comes, the CEO is like, okay, my client is ready to receive the shipment, payment has been made, this is our time to shine, let me see what you got for me. And you tell them, oh, well, you know what, I didn't really do 100 iPhones because I didn't really want to follow that, I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to be different, I wanted to make 10,000 Androids. What is he going to tell? Is he going to accept that from you? It's not going to be accepted. That's not what he told you to do. He doesn't care that you did 10,000 Android. You just now lost him the biggest client, right? You made him look bad, and you didn't follow directions. You didn't follow. You're somebody who does not follow directions. It's the basics. Like, if you're going to any job interview and you don't follow orders, you don't follow directions, you're not easy to work with, you're not going to get the job. It's not rocket science, guys. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you need to pray 5 times a day, you need to fast Ramadan, you need to do Hajj if you can do Hajj. You need to believe in Allah and His angels, right? You need to do all of these different things. if one of the things you decide not to do because you're like, oh, it's not important. Praying is not really for me. It's what it's about. It's in the heart, man. It's about my heart. Guys, no, it doesn't work like that. Allah says you need to pray. He doesn't care what's in your heart. What's in your heart should be submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, should be listening to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, should be obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says that you have to fast, then you have to fast. It's whether you like to fast, whether you hate to fast, doesn't matter. Allah asks you to do this, this is what you do. So this is why Allah says, tell them, Muhammad, these are the biggest losers, the ones who thought that they were doing good, the ones who thought that they're not going to pray, but you know what? They're gonna, during the whole year, they're gonna be doing everything that's wrong in the book, and then on Ramadan they'll just fast, and then they assume that everything is good, or they never ever pray, and then maybe they just show up to the Eid prayer. It doesn't work like that, guys. It doesn't work like that. So, truth, right? We're seeking the truth. Don't put ideas in your head. Don't trick yourself, right? Dr. Nabulsi says something good. A sour truth now is better than a sour truth later. So when you have to face reality now and you have to say, you know what, I have to pray 5 times a day. You know what, I have to stop doing drugs. You know what, I have to stop drinking alcohol. You know what, I have to leave that girl, or I have to leave that guy, or I can't have a boyfriend, I can't have a girlfriend. The sooner you come to that sour truth now, it's going to save you a much more sour truth later. Because either way, we're going to face the truth. It's just whether we face it on our terms and we're in control and we're in power, or we face it and we have no control and no power, and then there's going to be no one standing and no one left to help us. And this is really what it's about. So again, to recap, the Jahiliyyah, time of Jahiliyyah, and that's something that I was actually mistaking myself. I was like, oh, those people are stupid, the people of Jahiliyyah, or the people of Jahl. We always hear this Jahl, ignorance, so these people have no knowledge. He's saying, no, these people have a lot of knowledge. These people have tons of knowledge, right? Someone who's jahil doesn't mean that they're stupid, they don't have knowledge. He said the jahil person, Dr. Nabulsi, he said the jahil person is someone who has lots of knowledge, tons. He said the jahil person, he has so much knowledge in his head. But guess what? All of the knowledge is wrong. All of his information is wrong, right? So he lives a wrong life. He ends up in the wrong places, and he ends up displeasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whereas, inshallah, the believers, inshallah, may Allah make us all from the believers, inshallah, we will all have lots of knowledge, but you will have the right knowledge. You will have the haqq, right? And when you have the truth, then you have everything. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from those people who hear the best of the speech and follow it. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to also make us from those who are in constant pursuit of the haqq. So always, guys, always pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, call him by his name, al-haqq, ya Allah, show me the truth. Keep me from those of on your way of the truth. Always make me be a truthful person. Always make me speak the truth. Stand in front of the truth. Always let me be a supporter of the truth. And if you are a supporter of the truth, then no doubt, He subhanahu wa ta'ala al-haq, He will always be with us, inshallah. With that said, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from us and to make us from those who hear the best of the speech and accept it. And guys, I'll leave you with this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, that batil, falsehood, is going to perish. Inna al-haqqa kana zahuqa. Falsehood always perishes. The only thing that lasts, the only thing that makes it false, you cannot be tricking somebody forever. You cannot be faking it for. People say fake it till you make it. You can fake it till you make it, but it's only going to last you so long, right? So don't have that mentality. No, I have the mentality of I'm always going to be with the truth. Even if the truth is not the popular opinion, it's okay. It's okay. The road less traveled, guys, actually is always the better road at the end. The other road that everybody's taking, it's not fun to be on that road. Everybody's doing it. We want to be on the road less traveled. We want to be from the strangers. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from us. Inshallah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your Sunday. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.